Students, have you ever made a teacher cry? During my senior year, my history teacher, Mr. Bryant, had this ridiculous rule that we had to raise both hands if we wanted to answer a question. One hand wasn't enough. It had to be both hands waving in the air like we were cheering at a football game. He claimed it showed true enthusiasm for learning, but we all knew it was just another way for him to control the class. If you forgot and only raised one hand, he'd ignore you completely, even if you were the only one who knew the answer. I was his top student, but even I thought this rule was stupid. So one day, when he asked about World War II tactics, I decided to take his rule to the extreme. I raised both hands high above my head, but I didn't stop there. I started waving them back and forth like I was directing airplane traffic. Mr. Bryant noticed and called on me, probably thinking I was just extra excited about the answer. "The Germans used the Blitzkrieg strategy," I said, still waving my arms. Then I kept them up while he talked, moving them like a palm tree in a hurricane. "You can put your hands down now, Nathan," he said, looking uncomfortable. "But sir, you never specified when we could lower our hands. I'm just showing my enthusiasm for learning." The class started giggling. The next day, half the class joined in. Whenever anyone answered a question, their hands stayed up, waving and swaying. Some students started adding sound effects, whooshing noises as they moved their arms like windshield wipers. Mr. Bryant tried to ignore it, but you could see his face getting redder each time someone raised their hands. By Wednesday, we'd evolved our protest. Students were standing up to answer questions, arms raised like they were praising the sun, doing little dance moves while they spoke about the Great Depression. One girl, Amy, brought pom-poms and did a full cheerleading routine while explaining how the stock market crashed. "Give me a 1929! What's that spell? Depression!" The whole class lost it. Mr. Bryant started calling only on students who raised their hands normally, but we'd prepared for that. Those students would suddenly jump up mid-answer, arms shooting into the air like they'd been electrocuted, claiming they'd been struck by enthusiasm. By Thursday, it had spread to other classes. Students would walk down hallways with their hands up, claiming they were just really excited about learning. Other teachers started asking Mr. Bryant what was going on. He'd just shake his head and speed walk to the teacher's lounge. The breaking point came during our test on Friday. Every time someone had a question about the test, they'd shoot both hands up and wiggle their fingers like they were casting a spell. Some students kept their hands up the entire time they were writing, hunched over their desks like T-Rex trying to do paperwork. When Brian asked for an extra pencil, he stood up, arms raised, and began doing the Macarena. "Sir, I require additional writing implements to further demonstrate my enthusiasm for history," Mr. Bryant finally snapped. He threw his coffee mug into the trash and stormed out of the classroom. When he came back 10 minutes later, his eyes were red and puffy. "Fine," he said, his voice cracking. "Just raise one hand like normal people. Please, I'm begging you." The class erupted in cheers, with both hands raised, of course. For the rest of the year, whenever someone accidentally raised both hands, Mr. Bryant would visibly flinch.